Did you know that here in South Jersey, thousands go hungry, including 1 in 5 children? We discuss how you can help the community food bank close the gap. And the Atlantic City Free Public Library is open to more than just books. We learn about the many resources and programs they have to offer. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time, to understand the past.
Choose to soar, to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger, Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world, and South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. It's hard to imagine that right here in South Jersey, there are thousands who face hunger, including 1 in 5 children. The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is often the only safety net to help fight hunger. And to tell us more about their great work is Renata Taylor with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Renata, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Now, it's not no joke when we're talking about hunger, particularly for children. 1 in 5 children right here in South Jersey go hungry. Tell me more about the statistics and the real problem.
It's shocking, and I think, thank you for helping us get the word out that we feed Atlantic, Cape May, and Cumberland counties, which are number 1, 2, and 4 in the state for childhood hunger.
Wow.
Cape May is number 1 at almost 20%. Atlantic County is number 2 at 19.4%. And Cumberland is number 4 in the state at 18.9%.
So we often refer to this as food insecurity. What does that really mean?
It's a nice way of saying that you are a hungry person. You are at risk of missing a meal. And with our children, 1 in 5 of our children are at risk of being hungry. And that is a hunger issue, and it is also a health issue in our community.
So when you think about the food bank, it's not just the physical location where people go and get food. You also distribute food throughout the community. Tell me about that.
We are the mothership that collects, with the help of our community, over 1 million pounds of food a month. Wrap your brain around like 1 million pounds of food a month.
A lot of food. And
we distribute it to over 250 partner charities in the 3-county area.
So that includes churches, community
pantries,
centers.
Boys and girls clubs, schools. We have pantries in places people have no idea where hunger exists.
I remember growing up in New York City, and you relied on getting your lunch and your food in school. And in the summer, it was the community clubs like the Boys and Girls Club, those kind of things. And they're actually feeding and addressing the hungers right there in the communities.
That's exactly what we're doing. And the food bank is hosting an event on May 9th, which is for that exact purpose, which is if you are a hungry child, where do you eat in the summer? I mean, most of our towns don't really have access to proper transportation, if you're out in the country, or a proper supermarket that is there. So Night of 100,000 Meals last year was kind of like, hey, let's put on a show and see if we can raise enough money. And we host it at the food bank in the racking rooms, in the warehouse. So donors that come in actually see how it works firsthand and learn and feel educated and empowered about being an ambassador for food insecurity.
So this is one way that the community could help, right? That we all have food, and we even see school kids collecting cans and donations. So how can we help?
Well, there's a million ways to help. I mean, we are always looking for volunteers. We are 95% volunteer driven, which means for every dollar you donate to the food bank, we're able to purchase almost $8 worth of food. So volunteerism, regardless of what your skill level is or your age, we need you. We have opportunities volunteering everywhere. You can donate financially. You can hold food drives in your organizations, in your town. You can do a virtual food drive online. There's a million ways that you can
That's
give.
something I haven't thought about. Yeah, virtual food drive online. So you and if you have a meeting, maybe a community meeting, you can have people bringing cans, so you can start a collection even with other activities that you may be engaged in.
Yes, and there's a huge opportunity for healthy foods, which is what we're trying to partner with local community leaders and health networks, that it's not just a lot of food, but the right foods to keep our kids healthy.
We want to talk about that in the next segment. Tell me, if someone wants to do a drive, what's the right way to go about it? How can they sign up to do that through you?
Well, they can get on www.cfbnj.org, or they can call the Community Food Bank of New Jersey in Egg Harbor Township on the White Horse Pike, and we will set you up with everything that you need. Marketing collateral, bins, we pick it up, we sort it. We just need you to host it.
Is there a list, sort of a shopping list of what the most important items are?
Sure. We have most needed for general population, for children, and for our largest growing population, which is senior citizens.
Seniors are also have to make that choice between getting food and paying the bills. And how are you helping the seniors as well?
By education and open access. Because most of us live in other states from our parents, and they just don't quite make it till the end of the month. And I think people would be shocked to know how many senior citizens are utilizing the food pantries, especially Egg Harbor Township. But we have an initiative to set up food banks in senior-centric buildings.
And I would think that some of the seniors were probably less reluctant than a hungry child to say they're hungry.
Absolutely. They're very proud. They've worked their whole lives.
All right. We want to continue this discussion, talk about the nutrition aspect of this in a moment. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion, and once again with Renata Taylor with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey as we continue to discuss the important work that they carry out in the fight against hunger. And Renata, we were talking about some of the great things you're doing. I just want to go back to what you were referring to as the Night of 1,000 Meals, which is a fundraiser that you're hosting. It is on May the 9th from 6 to 9, and it is a food testing kind of event. Tell me more about that.
You are treated like a rock star at the food bank. It's actually held in the food bank.
Okay.
Last year, we were able to raise enough money to provide 77,000 meals for hungry kids throughout the summer. And this year, I'm hoping with community support, we can get to almost 100,000 meals. So we have phenomenal restaurants that are going to be serving tastings in the food bank, delicious libations and music, and just coming together shoulder to shoulder to support our community.
Let's just put the website up, which is www.cfbnj.org, so communityfoodbanknewjersey.org, for more information on how you could help and be part of that event. Let's talk about nutrition. Often when folks are hungry, they look for inexpensive ways to fill that need. But what are you doing to help address the nutritional aspect of hunger?
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey has a health initiative, which is not just feeding food, but feeding the right kinds of food to make health outcomes far more positive than what they are currently. And it is an initiative of education, breaking down barriers to access, and providing fresh fruits and vegetables on a regular basis.
Yeah, there's real impact. When kids are hungry, for example, they may not do as well in school and they might have other health-related issues. So it's important that we have that right balance.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're a child and you're hungry, you're certainly not going to sit in your seat and concentrate. And there is, outcomes that prove that being a hungry and malnutritious child leads to ADHD, ADD, juvenile diabetes. The proof is there, and we're on a fight to stop that proof and make a better outcome.
Now, you have other programs throughout the area. Tell me about some of those.
I think one of the most important ones that people need to know about is if you cannot get to your local pantry, we have mobile pantries that go within Atlantic, Cape May, and Cumberland counties at sites that are accessible by public transportation, and it is literally a supermarket on wheels.
Oh, nice.
It is.
So if you belong to an organization, whether it's Kiwanis or a church, and you see a need in that community, you could certainly reach out.
Give us a call and our mobile pantry shows up, and it has fresh fruits, vegetables, protein. We even carry birthday cakes and flowers.
Oh, that's beautiful. Tell me about volunteers.
We
How
need
do volunteers get
volunteers.
engaged?
95% volunteer driven. Whether it's your corporation, your social organization, your fraternity, sorority, book club, we need your hands.
How do they go about it, and what are some of the work that they could do?
Well, they can call the food bank, which is located on the Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township directly, and they would ask for CJ, who's our volunteer coordinator. And we take your skill set regardless of what level it is. We need people to make copies and answer the phones and sort food and pack boxes. And we have 1,100 clients that shop at our pantry every month, and they need help being registered and intake coordinators and shopping partners. So whatever you're comfortable with, we have a spot for you, I promise.
So you could take one volunteer and you could take a group of volunteers.
Absolutely.
It all depends.
We can take up to 30 people, or you can just come by yourself for 2 hours a week and join the food bank family.
Now, I know that you have a special program during the holidays, and that's what you usually have a lot of volunteers to pack those meals. Tell me about those
We call
events.
it the Super Bowl. It is our Super Bowl, yes. We work to distribute and ensure that families have enough on their table for the holidays, and to be very respectful of what their holiday is. And we are very aware that, not everybody eats the same food, and we take stressful precautions to make sure that everybody is served respectfully and that they enjoy their holiday season as well. So you can donate, you can volunteer. We have a million opportunities.
And I know you have an outreach worker as well that goes out and help folks to qualify for assistance.
Absolutely.
What they used to call the food stamps. I don't know what they call
SNAP
it.
Ed.
That's it.
SNAP Ed, absolutely. We have a completely bilingual young man that will go out and meet you where you are and help you get your paperwork in order to ensure that your family has proper nutrition for the month too.
So what's the most important message about the food bank that you'd like to get out to our audience?
The food bank experience is about the restoration of human dignity. And it is about letting parents feel proud to be able to feed their own children choices that they make themselves. And being a part of that is truly enabling humanity at its finest. And I invite you to come in and take a tour and see what fits for you.
Beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing this with our audience. And please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. The Atlanta City Free Public Library provides more than just books. Joining me to tell us more about the many valuable resources and programs that they offer is the library director, Robert Rankanvich. Did I say it right?
Close.
Close.
Great to
Affectionately
be
known
here.
as Bob.
Bob, yes.
Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show. And it's an important week this coming week because it's National Library Week, April the 7th to the 13th. What does that mean for you?
Well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me here, and it's great to meet you, Bird. And yeah, next week is a week where we celebrate our libraries and our library employees. And of course, it's a time to promote library use.
Of course, as a kid, I used the library. Now we have the internet. A lot of folks use the internet, but the library still has all those wonderful books and resources available, whether you're looking for a job or looking to spruce up your resume. You can always get assistance at the library. Let's talk about some of the many other services you also offer.
Well, that's true. I mean, libraries still provide the traditional services of books, magazines, newspapers, but libraries are so much more these days. We were lucky enough to receive a grant from the New Jersey Department of Labor, actually 2 grants. Mm-hmm. The one grant is the Career Connections Grant. This is a program where people can come into the library and they are introduced to a specific website that the Department of Labor created, and this helps guide them into finding employment or improving their current employment.
And of course, in the library, you do have access to computers as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Pardon me. We have a learning center, which has specifically been created. It has 14 computers, and it's a private area in the library off from the main center of the library. And we have instructors. So there are instructors from Atlantic Cape Community College. We're working with them. They come in and they help these individuals get onto this website, and then we eventually send them to the One Stop in Pleasantville. The other program is just started in the last year, and it was really great that the Labor Department created this, because the problem we were running into is people would come in, be sent to this website, and try to apply for jobs, and they didn't have any computer literacy. No computers at home. Right. How do you use a mouse, right? How do you get an email account? So this second program is really great, because you sign up and you come into classes, and we have instructors, again, from ACC, that teach you all the basics about computer, the real important basics. How do you get an email account? How do you use a mouse? How do you create a resume? And this is wonderful, because then we can feed them into the Career Connections Grant after they complete that class.
And obviously, you don't necessarily need to be looking for a job to take advantage of that course.
That's true. Well. We have seniors that come in and they just want to learn how to use a computer.
Now, I know that one of the important things that you're offering in our community is ESL classes through a new grant that you got. Tell me about that.
The library was one of only 16 libraries in the United States this year that got this grant from the Dollar General company, working with the American Library Association. And we were able, again, to work with the community college, Atlantic Cape Community College, and hire instructors. And it's basic ESL classes. And we have a whole series of programs during the week. And we also have something a little different, which is you can come to an ESL practice lab, like, for instance, on Mondays, meet other students, and just practice your English, nice. Which is very nice. And it's a basic ESL class.
Now this, you should either go to the library or call the library to register for any of these classes, correct?
Yeah, you would have to call the library, 609-345-2269. Go to the help desk when you go through the automated phone system, or you come into the library, come to the help desk, and we can sign you up for all of these classes that we just talked about.
Now, even though you have satellite centers, all these 3 programs are all from the main library, which is on
1 North Tennessee Avenue, right by City Hall.
Right by City Hall. You also have some other cultural activities taking place in the library. Tell me about those.
Right. So, like I said in the beginning of this interview, we have books, we have these more modern services, but we also provide culture and entertainment for people in our town. So we have the Third Thursday Music Series. This is the third year of the Third Thursday Music Series. And what it is on the third Thursday of every month, beginning in spring, going into the fall, at the main library, in the meeting room, we have live music. And I have a music background, so I have to throw some of that into the library. And we get local musicians, but we also have been getting people from the New York City area, Philadelphia. Last year we had a Hindustani classical music with a sitar player from Long Island.
Wow, beautiful.
It was really interesting. It really was.
And I know at some point you also had Latino music.
Yes, we did. That's right. Well, we had a multicultural music series during the fall and running into the winter last year, and we did during October. We had Latino music, and we had klezmer music for Hanukkah. We had Christmas music in December. It was great. It was really nice.
You could do your book report, search for a new job, and do every other thing at the library and still enjoy a little bit of culture.
Get exposed to maybe some kind of music that you haven't tried.
Exactly.
Listen, and it's free.
It's free. That's a key word. Thank you so much, Bob, for sharing this information with our audience. And thank you for joining us once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.